Welcome to episode 4 of the Southerly 420 build series. In this episode, I'm going to be showing you where we are in the build stage. So we're currently fitting bulkheads into the hull. You're going to be meeting some of the team that are actually fitting the bulkheads themselves. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek at our next boat that's going to be built. Let's go and have a look. So as you can see, the boat's moved on quite quickly from the last time you saw us. We're starting to fit structural bulkheads. These are all marine grade ply. So basically the guys dry fit them. They'll then be removed out of the boat again and they'll be veneered. Once they're veneered, they'll come in protected and they'll get bonded and glassed into the hull to create a solid structure. So believe it or not, I'm not trying to rob a museum, I'm still in the boat. As you'll see, there's a red line across my chest. That's from a laser. So basically what we do when we're fitting bulkheads is the guys will come into the boat using the schematics and they'll mark out the location of all the bulkheads and all the internal structure. As you can see, I'm sat on some of the GRP structure that's been fitted and over laminated. Most of this has a carbon fibre unidirectional capping, which adds both longitudinal and transversal strength to the main hull structure. You can imagine this as almost like a skeleton of the boat. And then obviously, as I said before, we've got the plywood bulkheads that tend to sit on top of it or in various locations, and that will also be bonded in with various layers of fiberglass and resin. So we've got to be a little bit quiet. The guys are on board the boat. We've got design, CNC team and production having a meeting discussing various things that we can do to improve processes and talk through our current processes. What we want to do is create the perfect product, and we all work cooperatively as a team. There's a lot of synergy between departments at Concept Yacht Shipyard, and that's obvious really when you look at the finished product of the Southerlys. So here we've got an example of what we call secondary bonding. So previously I mentioned about the plywood bulkheads getting glued in and laminated into the hull. So this is a good example of that. So while we're CNCing the plywood bulkheads, a rebate gets created and then that creates a nice smooth surface ready for any sort of veneering or covering that goes on. It's bonded down initially with structural adhesive, which is a semi-flexible permanent adhesive with a radius that bonds the hull to the bulkhead, and then over laminated with multiple layers of fiberglass. So while we're building the boats, we obviously work to quite tight tolerances for various reasons. So firstly, weight. So we're very conscious about the amount of weight that we put in the boat. So obviously there's an optimal thickness of glue, for example, that we would apply within the bulkhead and the hull. Obviously, if a gap is too big, we end up putting excess glue, which creates more weight, but also the glue beyond a certain thickness loses some of its prime strength, basically. So that's something really important to us. We work to those tight tolerances. They're all defined within the drawing, and they come from the structural engineers and our design department. So we've managed to find some time with Drew, who's the composite lead for Southerly. So at the moment he's running the build stage for the 420.
So at the moment, currently, we are fitting the saloon area bulkheads, and we are actually still in the what is the new Pullman's cabin. So as you can see, the front section of it is temporarily put in so that we can check all parts of the bulkhead are correct. We have a drawer in here that me and Leigh check every end of the day to make sure that our progress is all correct.
How do you go about fitting the bulkheads?
So basically we have bars that fit to the frame of the boat. The bulkheads come to me CNC, so they are essentially going to fit, but what they need is a little bit of wood fettling here and there. The beams go in, the bulkheads are then levelled to the boat, and then a laser is sent through which picks up these lines that are on the bulkhead, so that we've got a datum to check all of the bulkheads.
Thanks for that, Drew. Really great explanation of what you do. I would say I've actually learned something today, so that's great, thank you. So as you can see here, the laser is back. Basically, when the bulkheads and the structure are CNC cut, we get them to put datums on each piece, so it makes it easier for the guys to fit. Generally, a boat is built with 3 main datums, one being the centerline, the second being the DWL, which is design waterline, and the third are the station marks. So everything transversely is measured off the station marks. Generally, everything longitudinally is based off the centerline, and then everything that has a relevance to height is measured off the DWL. So here at the moment, the guys have got DWL plus 500 marked on the bulkhead. That's lined up perfectly with the laser, which is set to DWL plus 500. We also have a centerline marked and station F plus 922. So this gives everything the guys need to be able to locate this bulkhead in exactly to the millimetre right position. So something else we're doing is we've just signed a 480, Southerly 480, which is our 48-foot model. We're just starting the build process of that. I can take you over for a quick peek at that. You'll see more of it, hopefully, in another build series. I won't spend a lot of time on here because this build series is about the 420 after all, but I just wanted to show you basically what the boat building process looks like from day one. So the mould has been cleaned, and they're starting to apply mould release agent, which helps the boat, once it's constructed, to be lifted out of the mould. They're working on the plants and things like that at the moment. So yeah, so this is day one of Southerly 480. Hopefully there's more to be seen very soon.